You know, it's remarkable that we we actually think that we know what is going on. We actually, for the most part, believe unquestionably a lot of the time that we're able to determine what this is. We're able to um, resolve what experience is. This is reinforced, of course, by the fact that we have all these rich ways of conceptualizing and categorizing and describing all that's occurring, or so much of what's occurring. It's very powerful language, isn't it? I have so many names for so much of this, and seem able to, and in some sense am able to convey something of what's occurring, to myself, to other people. And I'm doing that right now, right? I'm using language. But here's the but. The question is, can we actually pull it off? Can we actually know what this is? Just let yourself consider that for a moment. The possibility that you don't actually know what anything is. I mean, really, truly can't conceive of this. That's just a proposition. I'm putting it out there, this possibility that we can't know this, that we can't know what this is, that we can't actually pin this down. Even though it seems like we can, it seems like I can identify phenomena as being this, that, and the other thing, put them in the categories, again, talk to you about them, talk to other people. But let's look right now and see if that holds up under scrutiny. Can you actually get to the bottom of what this is? Any aspect of it. Look and see. Look at your experience. Look at what's here. It's the only thing we can look at, what's occurring, what seems to be here, presenting itself in this moment. Feel what's presenting itself in all its different aspects and dimensions. I'm hearing what I would call sounds. As you are. We have a word for that, sound. The sound of my voice, for example, and other sounds. What is sound? In one sense, sound is sound. We know exactly what it is. It's sound. But look again, feel the presence of this phenomena that we have a name for, sound, and see if you can actually come to a conclusion of what it actually is. What makes sound sound? Well, think about it. Feel it. Feel what it is. Because it is the feeling of sound that then gets interpreted as sound. What is it that we're experiencing? This is the question. Just listen to sound. Keep looking. Keep exploring what it is. What's actually there? Notice how as the mind, as consciousness attempts to point to what the essence of sound is, what makes sound sound, or any other phenomena, thought, feeling, sensation, what makes this, that the moment we conceive and apparently identify what it is, conceptually, linguistically, put it in some category. It's this. That's our knowledge. The minute we seem to know what this is, notice that it's no longer here, that it has slipped away. It's a very curious aspect of experiencing. That as you move towards it, to pin it down, to determine what it is, because again, we presume that we do know what it is, and I'm inviting us to check that out and see if we actually can determine it. As we move towards it, to investigate it, to feel it, to arrive at some conclusion of what this is, what anything is, you'll notice something, which is that it moves away from you. It becomes less clear what it is. We see its ungraspable nature. We see that it slips away as we try to pin it down. It's very, very paradoxical. Sounds are here, what we call sounds, but I can't grasp hold of and determine what they are. What makes sound sound? I mean, I could say it's vibration, but that's sort of, maybe even I feel it as vibration. But what is vibration? You see, any conclusion that we might come to begs the question, what is that? What is that? Our experience transcends everything that we think it is. It is entirely beyond comprehension. It's too vast. It's too multidimensional. It's too transient. It's really here for no time. It's not here long enough to pin it down. This is what I mean by it moves away from us. If you actually feel what's here, you will feel that moving away. You will feel the slipping away. We are feeling the slipping away of this, the ungraspable nature of it. And in its being ungraspable, owing to its absolute dynamism, its self-release in the instant of its arising, this is what we're feeling. The moment instantly transforming into something else, transforming into something else, transforming into something else. We can't determine what it is, can we? Because it's become something else more quickly than we could even conceive of what it is. But in its transcendental basis, this moment, feel how it is entirely beyond all notions of lack, all notions of division. These are definitions and descriptions, aren't they? All notions of incompleteness, of not enough, all notions of identity, all notions of limitation, all notions of problem. What is this? If it is beyond all these concepts, all these constructions, all these categories, all these identities, what is this? What is it then? Something is here. What is reality? If it actually transcends our knowledge of it, our seeming capacity to conclude what it is, if it transcends it, which it does, in each instant we can feel the transcendent nature of it, then what is it? What is here? What is here? Something's here, it would seem, and yet it's elusive as to what it is. Feel that. Feel the simultaneous, unmistakable, concrete presence of this moment. Here. It's here. This liveliness, this being, this presence. It's not nothing. It's something. It's presence. It's being. We can't say ultimately what it is. And yet there's this positivity in the sense of something is here. This moment of just sitting here, we could say, just being here is here. And yet it transcends anything we might think about what it actually is. That it is irrefutable. That this is undeniable. What it is unknowable. This is its mysterious, unfathomable, transcendental nature. It seems like it collapses into something known. For a moment, it seems like it collapses. Ah, there it is. This collapse of infinity into something finite and formed and knowable and describable and identifiable. But the minute it seems to collapse into something that we can name, it becomes something else, doesn't it? It never actually fully collapses. It just seems like it collapses into the nameable, the describable, the knowable. But just feel right now the way in which there is no collapse of this. It remains open. It never closes down and becomes something fixed. It remains wide open, limitless, space-like. Completely open. This is what's here, this complete openness, perceptual openness. never collapsing into anything, never becoming fixed, never becoming static, frozen in time. Just always, we could say, in this flow of becoming, seeming becoming, but never actually becoming anything that we could pin down. This is the absolute freedom of it. Freedom from being anything fixed, anything. It's free of all identity. There's no identity to free ourselves of. There is no identity. This never becomes an identity, though it seems to. It never fixes. It can't fix. It's its nature to not fix. It's its nature to not be static, it would seem. It's alive. We could think of our own birth, into this existence, this becoming something, this creature. And yet we have nonstop been growing, haven't we? We've been unfolding as a creature. We never became fixed as being one way, not actually. We were always becoming, even if in the subtlest ways, we are always becoming. Feel the freedom of that, the absolute freedom of this from all designations, all knowledge structures, all conceptual frameworks, all identities. And the feeling of that is one of great freedom, great ease, great fullness, because there is no lack. There are no pieces missing. There's just this seamless expanse, indescribable expanse. It's even beyond that. What is that chant? Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate. Gone, 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 beyond. Something like that. Yeah, this is gone, 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 beyond, beyond. Beyond anything that we could possibly know and determine. And this that is beyond transcends all the forms and structures and frameworks and frames of reference. At the same time, appears as all these structures and frames of reference. It is not separate from anything. It is the very basis of all of this, isn't it? There's no separation. Our so-called everyday life, our so-called normalcy, is the transcendent. The transcendent's not somewhere else. It's sitting here. We describe this as coming together in a meeting on Zoom, but that's just not really telling us what's actually here. What's actually here can't be said. It can look like and feel like all the ways that it looks and feels that we seem able to describe, but it simultaneously is beyond all of those ways that we conceive of it and describe it. And that's the great freedom, because it is really, truly our descriptive frameworks that give us the sense, lead us to believe that we are somehow vulnerable creatures living in a potentially threatening world of circumstance and experience that at any moment we could be devoured by in some sense, or challenged by, or overwhelmed by, or, right? I mean, so we're sort of feeling like we have to find our way and secure enough of the kinds of experiences that we think we need to be okay, and fend off the ones that we imagine represent some sort of threat to well-being. And this is the ordinary notion, and it's fine as a frame of reference to operate from, but it is not the only frame of reference that we have access to. We have access to this other frameless frame that is beyond all the frames of reference. And from that vantage, that entire project, it just doesn't even compute. There's not There's just transcendental, limitless expanse. Just. I mean, that is the great bounty, the great wholeness, the fullness of reality. And paradoxically, or maybe surprisingly, the way to discover how transcendental this actually is, how utterly unpin downable and infinite this is to not go somewhere else, but to just be with what you're perceiving right now, which is all you can be with. What's here, what seems to be showing up, and in a sense is showing up. If you just stay with your current perception is the transcendent, not some other perception, this perception, just what you're looking at right now. You don't have to look for something else. What you're seeing right now is beyond imagination, beyond comprehension, just the way it is, actually. All of the conceptualizing about it is the abstraction. What's here is not an abstraction, is it? It's here. Palpably here. Something is palpably here, right? Just be with what's here. See what's being seen. Perceive whatever you're perceiving. Hear whatever you're hearing. See whatever you're seeing. Taste whatever you're tasting. Feel whatever you're feeling. Think whatever you're thinking. Right there in that concrete perception, that concrete moment of perceiving. Stay with what's concretely here, and you will discover what is beyond the concrete, what is beyond the substantial, seemingly substantial. It's very curious. That's the doorway. Into what's concrete is a doorway into the transcendental. The doorway is not to abstract about it and think about it and try to figure out where's the transcendental. It's right in what you're feeling right now, the feeling of this moment. There is no story there. There is no narrative there. There is no words there. There are no ideas there about what this is. There's something there, something here.